All right, welcome to Uncle Legend's Corner. I'll be your host, Uncle Legend, and with me as always, my beautiful co-host who can't keep her headphones on her head, Call Girl Six, better known as Fox.
Hey y'all.
So you're not wearing them?
No, I ain't gonna wear my headphones today then.
All right, turn the
I
headphones
got
down so it don't
Marge head
backseat.
going on right now.
Fucking Marge Simpson head ass.
How y'all doing today? It's Thursday. We didn't get a chance to podcast yesterday. We're gonna move our day, our Wednesdays to Thursdays now. So
Jay Z was good, brother.
it's a lot less hectic for us to get started. So
Um,
hopefully.
so something's been really bothering me lately.
What's bothering you? You always got something bothering you. What's up?
It's true. I hate fucking paper straws.
Paper straws?
Paper straws are the most ridiculous thing in the world.
Oh my lord.
Yo, how do they give you a milkshake and then give you a fucking paper straw?
I don't know how you're supposed to drink out of that.
That's just ridiculous. Like anytime you use a paper straw, it's literally encouraging gluttony because it's a race against time to consume your beverage. Like that shit is asinine. And the only thing you ever hear is because of some dumbass turtle swam through the big ass ocean
and got a straw stuck
and
up
got a
his
straw
nose.
stuck in his nose. Like, bro, what velocity were you swimming at this straw to get a straw jammed in your fucking
But you
nose
can't
as a
see the
straw?
straw.
And it's like obviously you wasn't a very good turtle because you don't got no homeboys. Not one turtle was willing to come up and be like,
And pull it
got
off
you.
the way them
He was
seals
probably
do.
a shitty turtle. Like Michelangelo would never.
It's more than one though.
How many turtles was it? Look up, please look
know.
up the statistics for that. How many turtles get straw stuck in their nose?
Probably like 20,000 or something.
And if that's the case, then do we really need turtles in the ecosystem?
How many turtles? It's straws. Look, somebody's already looked this stuff up. This is crazy. Oh, I was about to say.
Sea turtle straw. Look at that ain't a real story. Get the facts. Hit click. Get the facts.
1,000 turtles die every year after getting entangled in plastic.
See, that's a whole different
But
thing. You
this
talking about 6-pack
plastic,
cans.
it's
I'll
not
take my
straw.
dudes will take a 30 rack of beer in a case with no plastic. They don't need to hold the 6-pack like that. It's fine. But straws?
It's them digesting straws.
Digesting straw.
Yeah, that's what it says.
So
Digesting plastic.
either adapt to be smarter or fucking die out because you know what happened to the dodo
God.
bird? You know what happened to the dodo bird? You know the two reasons the dodo bird
No, I
died
don't
out.
know.
Two reasons. The dodo bird was delicious.
Was it?
And it was a dumbass bird. You can't be dumb and delicious.
It tastes like chicken.
I don't know. I'm not that old. But the dodo bird, two reasons they killed the dodo bird out. Fucking paper straws are ridiculous. Like, so we got to talk about paper straws, and I went on a tirade about it at work. And Chris just put in
Oh
it.
my God.
Chris just put in his paperwork to retire too. Your boy Fantastic Fanner.
Fantastic.
Yeah, last day in uniform.
When?
Shit, it was either yesterday or today.
Last day in uniform? Wow, he could just retire like that? It was time for him to renew contract?
Yeah, he was already over 20.
Oh, wow. Congratulations, Chris. I'm so happy for you.
Lucky some bitch.
I'm so happy for you, Chris. That's what's up.
But so we got to talking about straws, and I was talking to a friend of mine, and I ain't even, unless you hop on this podcast, I ain't gonna say nothing. But she said something about she had made a post about paper straws a while back, and she was talking about getting not a McFlurry. What do you get from Wendy's?
You get a Frosty.
Frosty. She's talking about getting a Frosty, and she's like, "How do y'all expect me to drink my Frosty through a paper straw?" And then dude hopped in the comment and was like, "You drink a Frosty through a paper straw? You really are gifted and talented." And I thought about it. Like, it's wild. How do you eat a Frosty?
I use a spoon.
Like a normal person.
Yeah.
Yeah, suck the chrome off a trailer, hit your ass, girl. Over
When
there.
it started to melt down, then I would use the straw. First, I started out with a straw though to see if I could do it, and it get too tiresome.
That shit wild. Like you gotta have wild, strong jaw muscle.
Yeah, you feel it too. Trust me.
I remember back in my whore days, this girl told me to come over, and I was like, "No." And she sent me a picture of her with a straw and some peanut butter. I hopped in the fucking truck and got moving, boy.
Straw and peanut butter.
Like she showed the peanut. Was like, motherfucker got pajamas on in a do rag, no shirt. You gotta respect it though. Yeah, one of the topics that was late that I want to talk about on the podcast before was everybody on Leonardo DiCaprio ass about his new woman is 19. What do you feel about that? Leo like what, 40 something?
I feel like he trying it, you know. He trying it. He trying to feel like his best day is almost up. And he trying to smash as many young things, PYTs as he can.
Well, this
Many
ain't been no
PYTs as
different.
he
This what
can.
Leo been doing forever. Like as soon as they hit
Mhm.
25, he kick them off the roster.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's kind of young. That's old enough to be his own. But I don't know. Like I mean, legally there's nothing anyone can do about it because they're over the legal age of a consenting adult.
Like I
So,
understand that legally and morally isn't the same thing, but I think one of the things that people get twisted with a lot of that is like they'll be like, well, how could they have a real connection? I think women might get it mixed up a lot of times thinking that men want to be your best friend.
I wouldn't necessarily say a best friend. I would say I hear guys mostly talk about, oh, they want a woman to be their best friend. But I think
What
it's
guys be
more
saying that?
of I think it's
Love.
more of women wanting just to have something in common with that person. So I don't know what a 45-year-old or 40-plus-year-old person would have in common with a 19-year-old, especially. This generation is so completely different from us, from any other generation that precedes it. I don't know. I don't see, like, even me when I was married. I think my ex husband was like 12 years older than me, and I don't know. I was with him 10 years, and I don't know how I kind of navigated that marriage because I remember us laughing at certain things, but it wasn't. It was no like real joy in that relationship. Apart from it was abusive as hell, but even if
That'd
I
take the
could,
joy out.
yeah, even if I could think back,
That'd take the joy out.
like on what we had in common, it was really nothing. We didn't have anything in common.
I
It
mean,
was
what
a kind of a you do this, you do that. I was trying to figure out life. I was 19.
I
You
really
know,
think I wonder, like, so in that conversation of people having things in common, a lot of times, how much do I think what you're more talking about is like a background to relate to?
yes, that relatability, like
Yeah, but I don't know if that's so necessary, like things in common, because like when it comes down to like hobbies, me and you have zero in common hobby wise.
Mhm.
Like I like guns, you like stones, you like spirituality, I like to read. I like lifting heavy ass weights. You like to complain to me at the gym.
Mhm.
It's like you like art and beautiful things, and like you like nature from that standpoint. I like nature from the standpoint of like I could use it for camouflage to shoot a deer right in his fucking neck.
Hunt, kill.
Yeah, like eat, hunt, kill. So like I don't really know. Did I say hi to Keita? I think I did. What's up, Keita?
Hey, Keita, we did.
I
Say
said it
hey
in
to
my
Jay.
head. I did a fox. Hello. When
Oh
you
yeah,
like
I
say it in
did.
your head, you look at me like,
I say it in my head all the time.
and be
Hey,
having a
y'all
whole
in the
ass
chat that's
conversation.
watching and listening.
Yeah, so I don't know how much men and women expect to actually have in common. We're more alike than we're different biologically and so forth and so on, but I don't know how much we're actually supposed to have in common.
So yeah, like you were saying, so maybe it is more of a relatability factor. I want to be able to relate with you, be able to talk with you, and be in agreement on certain things, or just share an opinion. Like, okay, I know what you're talking about. At
Yeah,
least that.
I
At
think
least
a
I
lot of
know what you're
times
talking about.
if there's if you're talking about anything that's relevant, then you can still do that. I feel like you're just left the ability where you can't do that. Like we can't sit there and talk about shows that we used to watch in the late 80s and early 90s and shit like that. Like
If you have that
yeah,
much
if
of
you
an
got that
age
big of a
difference.
gap, like you and your
Yeah.
ex-husband wouldn't be able to do that. Leonardo ain't talking about when with the shit that he was watching to this 19-year-old girl who is
Mm-mm.
why I don't know what she's watching, like YouTube probably, but you know what I mean? So but in the big scheme of things, it's like I think that like we use that as an excuse to just say that like we don't like the age gap.
What do you mean we use that? As an
Like we
excuse?
use that an excuse to be like, well, what do you got to relate about it? You're not going to have a real connection. And we use this as all an excuse for like, for some reason, we just don't like this age gap. Like some people were saying like, oh, it's well, how do girls be saying? It's giving pedophilia. It's like it's
Because of him being with this young girl.
yeah. But my thing about this is that pedophilia carry a lot of weight to it. So that's not like one of them words you can just throw around. And that's not one of the words you can just throw around and be like, oh, well, pedophilia, and you just can't throw that word around just because something don't sit right with you.
I mean, yeah, it feels like that, or you might feel like that because you don't like the dynamic. However, it's not pedophilia, though, by
Like if
definition.
you
So,
said it feel like groom, like words mean something is really what it gets down to, is like, because pedophilia holds a lot of weight to it. Now if you start saying grooming doesn't hold the same type of weight to it, but it holds some weight. And it's like, if you're saying it feels this is giving or whatever the fuck, or feels like grooming, then that's one thing. That's a completely different, like, all right, well, older man grooming a younger woman. And I mean, that's just the way it is, because at the end of the day, their relationship seems very transactional to me.
yeah.
Like, where it's like, I want a beautiful young woman, and you want to be spoiled. You want to live a spoiled lifestyle and see all the nice things in the world. I don't think,
luxurious, spoiled lifestyle.
yeah, and I really think that it's almost like an arranged relationship, and I think sometimes that, like, arrangements work better, and that's going to like slide into our next topic when we get to it. But I think like some of these arrangements and everything like that sometimes work better because everybody is no robbery. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody know what they're getting.
Well, so yeah, I can agree with that, and I guess back in the day, it would be the notion of marriage is a business. It's a business contract. Hey, you want my daddy land? I need somebody to help me with it to protect me. Boop. Here you go. Let's do this marriage and let's do what we got to do. So, and then you grow and you learn each other from there, right? I do think that when it comes to like love, it kind of it adds the cloudiness to it.
Yeah,
It
because
adds the
love don't make no
cloudiness to it.
fucking sense. Like you know what I mean? Like, when I feel as though people back in the, like, for instance, people back in the day seem like they got married more for, like, because marriage is a business. It was, you know what I mean? It's up to, like, I have Jackson Corporation, you had Atkins Corporation, and then we became Jackson Corporation. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we move forward with our corporation. Now, when people understand their roles, I think it leaves a lot less up for interpretation, because I think a lot of times we meet, we fall in love, and then we don't assess the roles and like think expectations, and then we just have these expectations of people that we don't speak about, that we just assume, where it's like, well, I expect you to cook and clean, and you expect me to pay the bills and fix stuff and this and that. And then you come to find out I don't know how to fix shit and you can't cook or something like that. Then we like, but you're a woman, you can cook. You're like, you're a dude, you should be able to build a house with your hands. You know what I'm saying? And now we sit there and it's like everything else was fire and dope. And,
Look on our face.
yeah, now we sitting there with the I eat ass face, like, you know what I mean? And it's like, well, what now?
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and it led to like it led to a conversation about, like, I was having earlier with Buns about like arranged marriages, and how people should, and like a lot of people have a negative connotation about arranged marriages, when it's like, what is the goal of marriage in the end of the day? Like, I think like our goals have gotten too like just, they became dreams of grandeur instead of what marriage really is. Like, I feel like,
So I think just like what we were just talking about, the goal of it, it depends on what your contract says, right? What you guys agreed upon in this thing before you guys started. But yeah, I think now it's become a little bit distorted because of the feeling of love, and it's more so of now, okay, I want this partnership, but I also want us both to get this, 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 and this. And sometimes it's just not feasible for some relationships.
I think that this is a crazy thing about it, right? Like, to me, love, when you fall in love with a person, you usually fall in love with a person. You can say who they are, but a person is the sum of their actions. You agree or disagree?
I'm on the fence about
Like,
it.
for instance, the things you fall in love with is like the things you see me do, the things like you can't just love something that for no, like, it's hard to love something for no reason, right? Like, you can't just look at something and be like, oh, well, I love this thing. Why do you love it? Because it makes me feel good, because it's really pretty, because it helps me when I need it, because like whatever you're talking about, it's a reason why we love. It's not much of that just like, oh, well, even like we said, oh, love at first sight. It's no love at first sight, it's infatuation.
Yeah, definitely
It's
infatuation.
It's infatuation, lust, one or the other, and then it's like, oh, I'm infatuated, I'm lusting, I'm this, that, and the third, da, 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 and then you learn to fall in love.
Yeah.
Possibly you turn, and it's the same thing that happens with arranged marriages, because it's like, if the goal is to be like, oh, well, I just want to find somebody that loves me. It's like, I mean, it's plenty of people that love you, but it's going to be somebody that loves you enough to work through all the bullshit, since you decided not to have a fucking plan going into the marriage, right? Like, you have no idea about this, that, and the third. So I feel like in arranged marriages, it makes a little more sense. It makes a little more sense in certain categories, because when a person goes into an arranged marriage, the roles that it's supposed to play, call them gender roles, call them whatever the fuck you want, but the roles of the man and the wife is the man and the woman are set, right? Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, I expect, like, I come and I do this and that. You're like, well, I don't expect to work. I'm going to stay at home and I'm going to raise the children. It's like, okay. And then
Wow.
what?
I was just looking up the statistics. The statistics for arranged marriages, the success of it. So the divorce rate over here in the US, 40 or 50%. The arranged
think
marriage
that's low,
divorce
too.
rate is 4%.
Yeah. 4%. So at the end of the
4%.
day, what is your goal? Is your goal to have a marriage that lasts because you took a vow that you're going to be with this person till death do you part? Or do we want a conditional marriage that when it doesn't serve us or what we thought was supposed to
We
happen,
just leave it.
now we could just walk away from that and leave it?
Mhm.
Because people have these ideas of like, oh, well, it should be this, it should be that. When people have defined roles of this is what we're supposed to do, this is what happens. And like we were talking about it, and she was like, well, I just don't feel like it's love in that and this and that. And then it's like, you know, that woman, she might leave when things don't go right. Well, people leave in regular ass marriages when things don't go right, right? Like the the 1 or 2 reasons for divorce, if I remember correctly, are finances and infidelity are the number 2 reasons for divorce.
But they don't leave
top
though,
2 reasons.
and the statistics prove that right there is 4%.
Yeah, 4% in arranged marriage.
Divorce rate. So they get there for whatever it is. They don't have that, oh, this is my plan for what I see and what we're going to be doing with our life. No, they just have their total strangers, or for whatever, maybe their families know each other.
Yeah, families know each other.
Whatever.
But what happens
together, y'all grow with each other. The possibility of it lasting because you guys are growing and actually learning each other.
Instead of coming in with preconceived notions, like the preconceived notions are part of the building blocks. It's like, hey, you're going to do this, I'm going to do that. And the other thing about that is a lot of the times is like what a man and woman want when they go into that. They say what they want and then they're met what they want. It's easy to fall in. Like if you wanted to be pampered and taken care of and you wanted to stay at home, you want to do all of this stuff, and I did that stuff, that would help towards the, like, as we make a connection, that will help towards you falling in love with me. Because it's like,
okay.
You know what I mean? It's up to like he's meeting my needs and concern, and we're together where we're thinking like divorce isn't an option. Right. So how do we make this work? It's like if we had issues in the bedroom, and be like, well, how do we fix this? Instead of just being like, yo, this ain't it. Because so much time now, I really feel like the whole idea of like love and shit like that is really like ego. It's really like the ego, like, or the real ego of like, I want you to just be, I just want this to be perfect without the work or something like that. And that's what happens a lot of times with love, when it's like love is doing that work. A lot of people like to say, but really it's just understanding your fucking job, and it's a sense of duty, right? Like when I tell you some things, like when we'll talk about it and you always get on my ass about it, and I say like, I'm always love you. So some days, some instances and everything like that where I don't like what you've done, which makes me not exactly in tune with you, but I'm still gonna love you. Like you're never gonna open up a door. You're never gonna do like that. You're never gonna have to do the heavy lifting. You're not gonna have to do that stuff as long as I'm alive. So I'm gonna provide and protect for you as long as I'm alive. But that don't mean I gotta do all this like smiling. Like I'm not gonna call you out your name or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's part of being my wife. Like that because I think so many times we lose the idea of like duty when it comes to it. Like you have a duty as my wife, like I have a duty as your husband. And sometimes we think like a lot of this shit goes with, well, I ain't doing that shit, he pissed me off. I ain't doing that shit, she get on my nerves. It's like
it just stops.
It just stops. And that's why like I learned that at a real young age.
That type of shit is fleeting to me. Like it doesn't give me stability of knowing that you're gonna be in it for the long haul.
Yeah, it's like if you know come hella high water, I could be aggravated as hell with you, but if you sitting there sick, I'm gonna take care of you. I'm going to cook for you. I'm going to do whatever. It's like, hell, when you had COVID or whatever, I'm going to take you in the shower and bathe you. Like, I'm going to take care of you. Regardless if I like you, get on my nerves the whole goddamn time. Well, just like I get on your nerves, but you're still going to take care of me. Like if I'm sick, you're still going to make sure I'm okay. Right. Like, and that means more to me than that fleeting emotional, like, oh, because I feel like you got to have a solid baseline of like, this is your duties of things you have to do. Like I'm not going to just decide like, yo, I ain't paying no bills this month because you got on my nerves.
It definitely is. You have to kill your ego a lot, it seems, to be in a successful marriage or relationship, period. Whatever you thought, get that shit out the window. Throw it out the way, because it's not going to be that. Because you don't have control over the other person. You don't have control over what expectations they also have and what things that they want to do. or see accomplished in a relationship as well. Some things that you're probably not even ready for. So I do agree with you. Like it's an ego.
You might marry somebody
issue.
that like paper straws. If that's the case, you should fucking leave them though. Like that is the grounds for a divorce. You find you a man or a woman, and your hair bows are everywhere.
Just get a bunch of peanut butter and stuff and see what happens.
We ain't gonna do it with no paper straw. That's gonna be sitting there looking
out
like
of there. You won't even have to do anything.
be looking like Nemo. But yes, and then so that got into the conversation about so my boy hit me up and he hit me up asking me about like the passport bros because him and his old lady was arguing about it, and we talked about it on a previous podcast.
Yeah.
And if I remember, I'll go ahead and put it in I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah.
Or something like that. If I mean put it in the show notes or whatever when we put the show up. But yo, the whole thing about passport bros is weird to me. Is like, so a lot of people feel like I think a lot of people have a really screwed idea, men and women, about like what happens when you go and get married in another country. I think a lot of people think it's like you just walk up, hand somebody a yellow envelope, and walk off with their daughter, and that shit doesn't go that way, right? Like because like a lot of men are saying like, yo, basically they're going overseas to go find women that meet their preferences.
So the thing about that is, and this is what I said last podcast, and I just hold true to that. You're going overseas to find women to meet your preferences. To me, it seems as though you're running away from your issues here, right? You're going over there to fuck up somebody else's life is what you about to do. Because whatever mentality that you have, you think, oh, I'm gonna find a woman that's gonna listen to me. Oh, so who's gonna be subservient to me? Who's gonna do this? Who's gonna do that? And I don't have to deal with this. And I don't have to. Okay, what are you doing in return to have that woman? To have that type of woman? What are you doing? How do you deserve that type of woman? Because all you're gonna do is the same bullshit you put up. You put this other woman through here. You're gonna put that same type of bullshit onto this other woman in a whole nother country and go fuck their world up. You have to deal with what's here first before you decide to go over there and try to lead somewhere else. That's not going to work either way. You're going to leave a trail of destruction everywhere you go.
So the first thing I'll agree with is that everybody needs to fix themselves first. That's a long process. Most people don't choose to do it because that's a lifelong journey.
Yeah, but to say you just going over there to find somebody to meet your preference, no, you're trying to go somewhere to find somebody who will deal with your bullshit. That's what you're really doing.
I mean, I think
because you feel like they don't have no other choice.
No, I think that might just be like the female ego projecting at that point, because you can't say that every man's going to do that. You can't even say the norm. You can't even say the majority of men. Like some of the dudes that I've known, black men that went overseas to go get married, that went overseas to go married, they were just like them, like them like dudes that are kind of like nerdy type cornballish that, like, people wasn't fucking with, like, before this whole like anime shit and everything started getting big. Like, the dudes that was like, yo, this dude's a fucking weirdo. Like, he probably would wear a trench coat in the summertime to school type shit. Like, he the one who want to wear the jeans with all the chains and shit hanging from him. Like, them type of dudes would have they'd get zero rhythm with American women.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that they don't have bullshit.
That's not, but
they get zero rhythm. That means that they have zero experience, which means that now they're going to put somebody else through.
I think that's an unfair assumption. I mean, that
is a very fair assumption. That's what's going to happen. You don't have experience to deal with to go through anything with anybody. You just gonna whatever experience.
So what should they do? Because because in the case of a woman, we would say, like, if a woman wants something, she should go and get it. She should go and get it. We don't sit there and say like, oh, well, this woman don't want to change. Like, I don't hear you saying like, oh, what a woman saying like, well, you should fix all your shit before you go bring all your baggage to somebody else. It's like, no, fucking accept me as I am and all this other shit and this and that. And people saying shit like, if you don't deserve me, if you can't do me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. It's like, if you look at it like this is the way the marketplace. Why I don't knock a man who decides to do that. If you look at the marketplace and you say, yo, I need to do this. Like, for instance, let's say you fucking like you want a woman that's fit, and you want a woman that's fit. Cool. America isn't always the place. So there's a lot less. This is probably the most unhealthy fucking country there is. So your options are limited to begin with. Point blank, period. Your options are limited to begin with. So you start there, and then you go with, oh well, I want a woman that's really beautiful. and I want her to do this and that. You start dwindling your numbers down. So you either keep shopping at a store that doesn't have what you want, that it costs too much and you can't afford what you want, or you go to a store that has what you want. It's like the same process. It's like just like when women want what they want. Like women be like, "Yo, I want to do who's this tall. I want to make this amount of money. I want to be like this. I want all this shit." Women have preferences, and when men don't meet their preferences, we encourage women to not deal with those men that don't meet their preferences.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is the difference between me saying I don't fuck with, like, if I was to say like, "Oh, well, you know what? I done tried all of Georgia, and Georgia was a bust, so now I'm gonna go to Florida and try Florida." "Oh, you just gonna go over there and fuck up the women in Florida?" No, I've had nothing but bad experiences here. You can decide to try to blame it on me if you want to, or you could blame it on a lot of shit, or you could blame it on like the joint effort of, yeah, the man might have some shit, but the woman does too. And guess what? Going to a woman who doesn't believe that being feminine and even if you call it like subservient or something like that is an issue, if that's something that they want, then why not go there? And the big scheme of things is like, if he got so much shit with him, then why would women here be upset? Because then that's less of a problem you got to worry about. What do you
It's
want
not
from him?
even so it's not upset from the standpoint of, oh well, you don't want me, so let me go be free. No, it's not that. It's like, what are you gonna be doing over there? You're leaving a trail of tears everywhere you go. Like, fix yourself first. If you gonna go there to be the leader of your family and all this stuff that you want to be, and that's true indeed, your personality, after you've dealt with everything here, then okay, cool. Go and find you a wife, find you somebody that meets your preferences. But if you're a fucked up person here, you're gonna be a fucked up person over there, and that's unfair to that fucked up life you're gonna create.
That's legit, because that's not making an assumption that everybody's fucked up just because they don't want to deal with a certain situation.
I said,
because your initial thing was like, well, that's a fair assumption that they're just going over there to fuck people's lives up, and it's like, we don't even know all of these dudes.
Majority of them.
I mean, that's also making an assumption. That's like me saying,
it's not a lot of people that have healed themselves, who've dealt with things inside that causes them to act a certain way.
Well, if that's the case, then everybody should be single.
Maybe so.
Like, everybody should be single. We're all fucked up.
You're right. Maybe so.
So in the meantime,
don't go there and go fuck up somebody else. No. Stay here, deal with your stuff first, and then go over there and spread your wings and
so what would they need to do? Show you a certificate of they passed therapy?
They don't have to show me anything.
Well, I'm saying, like, for you to have a different opinion.
I think they should do before they go over there, because it feels to me like when they say, "Oh, I'm just gonna go find somebody to be my preference." No, you're really trying to find somebody who's gonna deal with the fucked up parts of you that these women out here not trying to deal with. The women that you're choosing, that's not trying to deal with.
I mean, it's just the same way that when women don't want to deal with certain men, they stay away from certain groups of men and move on. Like, just like that's like saying, like, oh, well, you should have kept your ass in the projects and got your shit together over there instead of going and fucking with this ball player dude and fucking his life up. It's like, no, people go and they should go and be with who they want to be with. Because at the end of the day, it's like, it ain't no difference between, like, they went over the water. We got this like imaginary idea that, like, oh, he went over the water, he's gonna go fuck somebody else. So what's the difference between going over the water and going to California from here? Like, you're gonna go over there and fuck somebody like that?
Stay where your ass at and deal with you, and then you go and spread your little wings wherever you're gonna spread them.
Well, I mean, so that's unrealistic.
Okay, so it's unrealistic to deal with yourself.
It's unrealistic that people are going to get all of their stuff sorted out and settled before dealing with another person. That's unrealistic.
Okay, but the most toxic parts of you know what that is. If you're really trying to do that, if you're really trying to settle yourself, you'll know what that is. You know you can't invite that into someone else's life. So you're gonna have to work on that, at least that part, and get everything else settled when you growing with someone.
So you feel as though if they was to go ahead and have all of that settled and be good to go and all of that, then that would be the majority of women's opinion who have an issue with it would change then and be like, oh, well, these are good men who are going over here who are going to take care of these women because we care so much about our overseas sisters.
I think that they will still be bitter about it.
So why would they be bitter about it?
Upset because they haven't been chosen.
Okay.
They choose to go somewhere else.
Exactly. That's what it all comes down to. Ego shit. They
also need to do their own shit too.
Yeah, this shit comes down to an ego thing on why people feel this way. It's just the same way when dudes are like when Kevin Samuels was talking about high value men and this and that, and men would use that as their argument to disassemble women who don't count as high value women who are exercising their options to be with men who are of a higher value than the dude who feels bad. You know what I'm saying? Men would use that same argument, and it doesn't make any sense. That's all ego talk, and that's like, oh, you don't want to talk to me because I'm 5'9"? Well, you're this and you're that and blah 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 because some dude on the internet said it or something like that, right? And just like women to be like, yo, what do you want? Women want the same like 1% of dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like women want the same 1% of dudes or something like that. So it's going to be tough to get it. That's why women a lot of times meet rich dudes from overseas to meet their criteria, because they're like, okay, well, look, I get it. I'm willing to be submissive for the right man. Well, then go find the right man then. Because obviously it's not a you thing. You don't think it's a you thing. It's not the toxic part of you. So go over there, find Boaz or whoever. Go find the right man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Go find Boaz or whoever the right man is, and then be submissive and be the woman that you should be for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's perfectly fine. Like, people can have a preference. I think it runs into another issue where it's like a lot of times men just aren't allowed to have preferences.
Well, I think it's a shame y'all feel like that. Y'all not allowed to have preferences. Y'all do have a lot of preferences. Y'all prefer the women who look like this and who look like that and who have that, or who
and
don't
then if
get
we
this
do,
and
we get
who shut the fuck up and
thrashed.
all of that stuff.
And then-
Okay, so you can't say you don't have preferences. You said then when we do, we get their ass. So y'all have preferences.
Because like when
Just like
a
women
woman
have
say I
preferences.
don't want to mess with a broke ass, the dudes understand when they don't meet the criteria. You don't have dudes who sit there and be like, Beyonce should fuck with me because I'm that guy.
Nah,
But you have women who have that idea to like, Jason Momoa should fuck with me because I'm that girl.
nah, dudes don't understand, because the next thing you know, you a bitch or you a thirsty ass trick or whatever the case is.
Well, these
They don't
hoodlums that you talk
understand.
to, God forbid. I mean, these fucking hoodlums that you talk to, I'm talking about good God-fearing men, not this fucking ragamuffins and vagabonds that you associate with.
They don't understand.
Anyway, so in summary, I don't think the passport bros is an issue. I think most of honestly, like, I don't know, but I think a lot of times most of the women, and then as I even read like comments and I've talked to other women besides you, most of the women, their issue is that they're not being chose and that men are basically doing like black men.
I actually didn't talk to other women besides you, and they just said that.
Yeah, so other women besides you, but so, but it's like
slid that shit in there. I talked to other women besides you. So they said that
I did not stutter. But like other men have been exercising, starting exercise this too. When it's like, I don't want to deal with this. I don't have to deal with this. Just like you don't have to deal with things like some things that women do, men deem is abusive. Women don't respect it or understand it, this and that, because it's not the normal punch in the face abusive. So it's like, if you feel a behavior type is abusive and stressful and like, you know what I mean, and it's not conducive to you being who you need to be, then stay the fuck away from it. Just like if my behavior is abusive to you, you know what I mean, the way I talk, the way I do things, then stay the fuck away from it. You know what I'm saying? So these men are choosing to go overseas where they're finding women who meet their preferences. Like, how crazy would that be for you to be able to like, I want a man and I want all of these things in a man. And then there's a place where these men are. It'd be kind of crazy for you not to go and be like, well, let me go ahead and work on everything I need to work on to be worthy of that man. Don't nobody ever work to, like, it's an ego thing. Nobody ever works to
the
be like,
problem is that they think that they already worthy of
yeah,
all this and all that.
Because
and you're not.
No, because just like people like, oh, well, you worthy of love. You are worthy of love, just not
Worthy
from
of love, but
you're not
I'm
worthy of
trying
love
to
from the
say-
person you want to from the person you want it from, though.
Yeah.
Like, you worthy of love from maybe your parents. You worthy of love to like general love, but for somebody
love.
for somebody to be in love with you, no, you're not worthy of that. Like, you're not necessarily just worthy of that because of your existence. Like, not necessarily. And I think what the thing is like this: love, like when you love somebody, the reason that you wound up loving them is because of an amount of actions or certain actions that they have done. It's certain deeds that they've done. It's like they're romantic, so that's action, right?
Mhm.
They've done this and that. They've taken care of you. They've provided a lifestyle for you. They cooked for you. They cleaned for you. They did this. They brought their peace. They've proven themselves through actions. So the whole thing about it is like, if you're going to go somewhere, and even if you say like, oh, well, this relationship isn't love, or you can say what you want about it, but like you said, you did the math on it. It's 4%.
Mhm.
It's a 4% divorce rate. So these people are meeting, finding a way to love each other because they understand what they're supposed to provide for each other up front. It's not, oh, well, on the back end, well, I don't fuck with broke dudes, or leave me because I started working this way, or I leave you because you put on weight and had a baby or some shit like that. No, you know what I'm saying? Like, we had the understanding of what is going to be. All right, cool. We want to have kids. We want to do this and that. Da, 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 da. That's what happens in an arranged marriage, and that's why it works, because it's not none of this shit on the back end where it's just like, oh, well, I had a baby and now I'm 350 fucking pounds and that's acceptable. You should just love me like this. No, I wanted you to be beautiful, so fucking be beautiful. Just like it's not okay for me to say, I'm going to provide you this lifestyle. And then I'd be like, you know what? I don't want to work this much anymore. I just want to collect baseball cards. That's not fucking fair. That's not the arrangement, right? You can't just shift the whole arrangement and be like, hey, I'm not going to do any of this shit that you fell in love with, but still love me.
But then what happens too when they're unable to meet those requirements?
I think it's case by case scenario, right? Like I think it's a difference between like when a man complains about a woman's weight or something. I think it's the difference between like she's fucking lazy and she has a thyroid problem, or she just had a baby, or you know what I mean, all of these other issues. Like there's a difference, just like it's the difference between a dude losing his job because of the economy and they just laid everybody off, or the company shut down, and the dude just got fired because he showed up late from playing video games and shit. Like there's a difference and there's nuance to it about why you're not providing this thing that you were expected to provide from the get-go. As a woman, if you was expected to be beautiful, then that's it. If it was vice versa, if the woman was the breadwinner and the dude was, you know what I mean, one of these like, you know what I mean, GQ models or something like that, he can't get fat being on the couch eating Cheetos and say like, well, you know, I've been home with the kids and doing this and that, da da da. She married you. She was rich. She married you so you could look good and sling hard dick. You're not doing either. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're not doing.
Are you?
Yeah, you're not. It's like, what good are you? You see how funny that is to say what good he was? The exact same way with a woman when it's like he married you because you were beautiful and you're supposed to take care of these tasks, and now you don't feel like cooking. Now you don't want to do this and that. It's different when you got fucking munch houses and something like that. You know what I mean? Something happened, but just because you don't feel like doing it, or you've been listening to your bum ass friends and got Americanized, or you on social media and realizing all this shit that you shouldn't have to do. You want to be a bad bitch and listen to Cardi B, even though Cardi B will tell women all the time, like, I don't cook, I don't clean, but I still got the ring. And then Offset to have ass on video cooking and cleaning. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, sell that shit all you want. But the real is that they got expectations that they got to meet.
Yeah. Speaking of what's not cool, though,
them big red
child
boots.
bride.
Oh.
The child brides. I don't agree with that at all. I mean, I understand the whole objective of, you know, grooming and things like that. However, I think they should have some sort of policy where it's like no sexual intercourse until X age. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be 18.
I don't know what the rules are there.
15, 16 and some shit. I don't know. But no, they're able to do whatever they
like as soon as they marry him,
yeah.
It's their property.
Case in point, this girl, I think it was over in India. She was she got married. She's 8 years old. The guy was in his 40s. And on her wedding night, she died. She died on her wedding night from internal bleeding. Like, what the hell were you doing to that 8-year-old child?
I mean, you know exactly what
you know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that it should be some kind of policy. So where, okay, is this what you guys practice? Okay, cool. You know, and it causes financial relief for the parents because whatever the situation is, some help for them, and then they know that their daughter's being taken care of. But this wasn't, and it happens to so many kids.
I don't even understand like I can understand a dude being attracted to like a girl that she like you know, like in her late teens. I can understand that. She built like a grown woman at that age, but ain't no 8-year-old built like a grown woman,
right? At all.
You know what I mean? Like I don't even understand. Like that's 100% is perversion. Like when they talking about Leonardo DiCaprio with the 19-year-old, it's like, yeah, you don't like it. It's this and that, da da da. The woman's legal. It's like not to confuse legality with morality, but 8 is just like I ain't never had a thought pass about an 8-year-old. Like for instance, if I went to school when any of my kids was around that age, because 8 is what, like second grade?
Third.
Yeah, second about to go on the third, depending on when your birthday is, all that shit. But I ain't never walked into that school and thought like, Now I done fucked around and walked into a high school and looked and then realized there was like kid turning around and has baby face. I'm like, oh shit, that's a fucking kid. You know what I mean? Like, and that's done happened or whatever. And I think what people got to understand too with like the morality of dealing with kids, I think that what happens is the repulsion has to outweigh, like a dude has to be wired enough or a woman has to be wired enough that the repulsion of this person being so young outweighs the like lustful hunger and attraction. You know what I mean? Because that's really what happens is like if you saw me the first time you saw me and found out that I was 17, you would still think I'm attractive. You're just not gonna fuck with me because I'm a kid.
Yeah.
Because the repulsion of fucking with me because I'm a kid, I'm mentally immature, I'm doing this and that, da, da, da. That repulsion has to be higher than your attraction. Look and be like, dang, look, he been in the gym, you know, he this and that, da, da, da. So that's really what it weighs down to. But I don't. So like when like with Leonardo DiCaprio, there's no need to have repulsion there because she's 19, it's legal. It's like, And then from his standpoint or whatever, it's like she's young, she's beautiful, she's maybe she's pure or whatever, and this and that. And it's like that's what he wants, that's what he's attracted to. Cool, but it's like 8. It ain't no way that I can even devil advocate
There's
8. It's like that's fucking disgusting. Yeah, it ain't.
On. There's
like you talk about nothing to talk about. Like
it's a sex object and a servant. That's it.
I mean, even at 8, it's like what servitude could you do?
I don't know. Do the floors?
8-year-olds can't cook.
Like, I don't know, but that's what it is. It's
that shit's disgusting.
It's some kind of servant.
I mean, but and the crazy shit about it is, you know what, like
a toy.
Yeah, that's really what it is. It's a toy. Because she's fetishized. That's not true attraction.
Yeah.
That's not like, oh, I want this and that. That's more of a like, I just want to do things to you. It's kind of like, it's kind of like when people be like, you'll meet somebody and be like, yo, she's this or she's that. And be like, well, you know, some guys like that. It's like, it's not that they like that. It's like they fetishize that shit. Because ain't nobody sitting there thinking and be like, oh, this is exactly what I want. A lot of cases where people use these one-off scenarios, that's being a fetish. Like, you know what I mean? Some people do it with different races of people and shit like that, where it's like, you know what I mean? It's a fetish, right? Like for some
races,
people,
sizes,
you know what I mean? All that shit. It's a fetish. That shit isn't like pure. It's not like a pure attraction. Like, oh, you know, I'm attracted to you, this and that. I want to have sex with you. It's like, yeah, I want to ball gag you in 50 Shades of Grey your ass and then throw you in the street, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's that weird shit. So I don't always be thinking that fetish. Like a lot of times people say like attraction. Nah, that shit is a fetish or perversion. It's not an attraction. Like there's a difference between the two.
Yeah, you killed the child.
Yeah, you killed the fucking child. Like old boy should be skinned.
Like she a grown ass woman probably. She's 8 years old.
Yeah, and the wild shit about it is like, you know what? It's like them dudes that sit in other countries will probably look at like all the shit we do and be like, yo, what the fuck?
That's one of the things too. Like, well, I'm gonna go overseas and find somebody I like with my preference. That's part of the preferences right there.
But I mean, you saying that's the preference, but that happened overseas with people that's from overseas. Like that only got nothing to do with these American men.
There are American men who go over there just to get child bride.
Yeah, but I'm saying like you brought that case. You brought that case up to like make the tied in with the passport bros, and it's like
this is one of just many thousands of kids who died from this child bride and.
Yeah, I'm saying that that's horrible. I'm just saying that it's like I don't see the need to tie in like, well, that's the issue with the passport bros because that's what they're doing.
That's the issue, but that's a part of that though. They leave America to go over there and do what they gotta do what they want to do. That's all I'm saying. I ain't trying to say it's those bros in particular, but that's what men do. They go over there. It's already been proven. It's already been shown. That's what they go over there to do.
I mean, women do the same shit here too. So I mean, like people are fucked up. I don't think it's like an issue with like. To say like all like because what happens is like we're not dealing with the fact of saying like, well, some of these men are doing this and that, just like some women are doing things. We're dealing with the case like the problem with men doing this is this. It's not like that's basically using the whole case of like this is the majority of men are going over there to do this shit, and that's just all I'm saying is that's not a fair statement. To say like these men are going over there. Some people going over there to do terrible shit because some people just do terrible shit because they're just terrible people in the world, right? Like but I don't think that's the majority of people. Going places to do terrible shit, right? And especially it can't just always be based off of this like idea of this like bullshit patriarchy and stuff like that, and that men are just inherently evil. We go everywhere, we just do all of this stuff, and the world would be.
I do think men are just inherently evil, and I'm just mean mankind, period, not just men. I think we are inherently.
Well, yeah, evil. I'm talking about the male sex.
More evil than women, I believe so. Yes, actually.
Ain't no way, boy.
I do.
Ain't no way, boy.
Women only retaliate. It's a retaliation.
Yeah.
You guys mastermind some bullshit and the women retaliate. And retaliation is a lot better though. That's all you see. Just like when women cheat. A lot of times y'all don't know, or it's, we cheat a lot better, quote unquote.
This is first case delusion. This is just first case of female delusion. I'm not going to waste any more time on this.
I don't know, men. I don't know, y'all.
So speaking about women being evil, what about these girls talking about dudes being creeps in the gym because they setting up fucking tripods, wearing tight ass pants with the titties hanging out, and getting mad at somebody looking?
I think they weird. Like, what the fuck you wasting your time putting all this on? Your ass supposed to be working out. Why are you worried about whoever else looking? You're supposed to be doing what you got to do. Why are you worried about somebody looking at you doing what you got to do? Yo, if you was doing what you got to do, you wouldn't know that he's looking at you.
Yo, other thing is, I hate people with cameras in the gym in general. Like one, I hate
I
people
don't want
cameras
to
in
be
the gym.
recorded. Don't be
Yeah,
putting no goddamn
like
camera. I'm still chunky. Okay.
yeah, like my thing is this is though like so
Yeah,
this
yeah,
one
yeah,
woman,
I
it was
still
this
look
old
chunky.
dude, and she was like, look at this old guy. He's over here watching girls in the gym, and he hasn't even noticed me, and I've been recording him this whole time. It's like
Why?
you're the
supposed to be
fucking
working
weirdo.
out.
You're
Yeah.
supposed to be working out, but instead you're recording this old dude.
Always
Like
feel
he's not
like
even in gym clothes.
somebody's watching me.
Yeah, she's like, he's not even in gym clothes. He's just here. He's not here to get it because he had on like jeans, boots, and a t-shirt. Like, and he's like, he's not even here to get a good workout, and he's just being a pervert. That dude, old, chubby, don't know how to use the machines and shit like that. And that's why people don't want to go to the gym who don't know how to use shit. Like, I remember when you was telling me about that. Like, I don't want to go to the gym without you. I ain't trying to be in here looking stupid and people just staring at me. And then just imagine how that would feel if you was to look on the internet and see somebody recording you using the machine wrong. Like, look at her dumb ass. What's she here for? This and that, da da da. You be like, babe, find him, kill him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we gonna beat him. And then you had like a dude.
Weird to do a tripod. I think that the gym should ban the tripod.
So not Anytime Fitness. What's the other one? The purple one.
Planet Fitness.
Or is it 24 hour? Which one do we go? Which one?
We go to Anytime Fitness.
Okay, so it was either 24-hour fitness or Planet Fitness, whichever. But aren't both of those purple?
They're purple.
So it's one or two of them. But they got a sign that says like no recording anybody without their permission.
Yeah.
So basically where it's just like, yo, like even if like, you know what I mean, if I'm recording you while you doing curls or some shit like that, it's like cool. But when we set up a tripod or something, somebody's like, hey, because they're in the shot or something like that, and like, hey, could you need to turn that off? If you don't turn that shit off, then it's like you getting your membership kicked and get out of it. Because I think that shit is ridiculous.
Yeah. They should just do it all across the board. No cameras.
Yo, they had a dude in one of the videos that I was looking at because I followed this dude.
Muscles in your own damn mirror. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they want to get that post workout pump.
Okay, well, take your ass outside and do that, but don't do it inside.
Yeah, it was this cat Joey Swole on Twitter. Joey Swole was talking about it. And he gets on these cases where he's like, yo, y'all just assuming and this and that. Like, for instance, when I said, like, I showed you that one video when the girl was like, look, he tried to come over here and help me with my weights. He wouldn't help me with my weights if I wasn't a woman. But you know from going to the gym with me, that's a lie. Because I help dudes with their weights. And dudes help me with weights all the time. Like, when I get done deadlifting and I'm dead, you know what I mean? Like, my bro, yeah, you good, bro? This and that, da, da, da. It's just being polite. It's gym etiquette to be like, hey, man, you need a hand? I see you over here.
You don't see a weight fall on somebody's neck.
Yeah, and then they had a girl who was on there, and she had the squat machine that got the two little handles right here, and she went to squat. She couldn't come back up. She had that tripod set up. Not a fucking dude looked in her direction. They all had their headphones on, and like,
oh well,
and ain't nobody looking her direction. She like, hell, she was down for a couple minutes, like stuck to the ground trying to get these weights up. And then somebody finally came over and was like, oh, she's like, oh, thank you. Yeah, nobody wanted to help me. Ain't nobody trying to be on that tripod being no gym creep. Like, oh, he saw me down in my spot, thought I couldn't get it up because I'm a girl. So, all right, well, hey, get this goddamn equality into your kneecap buckles. Like, but I think that shit should be out there. There was a dude in the locker room, and he was flexing in the locker room, and the dude was in the back getting dressed.
Oh no!
Like, but dude was already like dressed from the he had jeans on or whatever, and he was up to like, hey man, he's like, hey man, like I don't think you should be recording here. He like, well man, if you don't like it, you can go over there or something like that. He's like, nah, I don't even think this shit's legal anyway. You should turn it off. Like talking to him, and the dude was just popping off like, well, he was like, well, you know what you gonna do? Call the cops? We'll fucking call them. This and that. And it's like, dude, people are in the locker room. Like now you're
not allowed to have cameras.
Yeah, now you sit here and you post that shit, and you got a dude with his dick out or something like that, and then now you posting porn on it. Now you facing like charges, I'd imagine. There got to be some charges again that are posting somebody nude against their permission, right? Like just like they got the revenge porn laws and stuff like that. Like it got to be something against that. But that shit's crazy to me. Like get the fucking cameras out of there. Go in there, work out, do what you got to do, and go. It's like if you want to go and you want to record, then take your little fucking bullshit TikTok or YouTube money, put a gym in your garage, and then do whatever you want.
Yeah, or go when no one's there. There's plenty of time and there's nobody at the gym.
Yeah, like go to a 24-hour fitness or Anytime Fitness. Go in there 1 a.m. Yeah. Ain't nobody there. Go in there and record there.
Gonna be there between 1 and 4 probably.
Yeah, go in there and do your thing or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Don't go right after work and expect to be able to record while people are there. People ain't trying to do that. Ain't nobody coming to the gym to be cute.
A lot of people don't go during work hours anyway.
Yeah, like ain't nobody going to the gym to be cute. Like, you know, we're going to the gym and see people full face makeup or something like that. And it's like, the fuck? Did you come in here? Like, I'm going to the gym homeless looking.
You do.
Like, for real, I'm going to the gym and you... Yeah, I'm going to the gym and people might be looking like, did this dude live here? Is he taking showers here and shit like that? Like this dude's a hobo because I'm coming in here to lift fucking heavy weight and go about my business.
It's
like
so funny because then when your bummiest, then you come want to kiss me. I'm like, God.
Oh, so that's how you feel.
That's Beto. That's mine.
Is this your man? Right there. Excuse me. Is this your man? No, it's cool. It's cool. Next time you come up to me or something like that, let your scarf be untied halfway. I'm be like,
cute though.
Chiquita banana head ass.
That's what we. Where? Gun to your head, babe.
I didn't know you had one.
Gun to your head. All right. What are you doing?
I'm talking to you.
A mystery box sex or sex with the guy you beefing with? Exactly. I said that. Mystery box sex or sex with the guy you beefing with? Gun to your head.
So what's the options for the mystery box?
Anything.
Like I might have to fucking orangutan.
It could be anything. Mystery box sex or sex with the guy you beefing with.
I'm establishing dominance. I'm gonna show this motherfucker who he beefing with. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm establishing dominance. I'm gonna break your fucking back, boy. That's what I'm doing. Establishing dominance. I'm establishing dominance right there.
Oh my God.
What if because if I open a mystery box, what if it's an 8-year-old girl?
It could be anything.
That's what I'm saying. I'm establishing dominance with old boy then. Bet he won't beef for me no more. After I knock his prostate out his stomach. Fuck you mean, boy? Fucking man. I'm a fucking man. No, you the bitch. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't know what's up with that mystery box, man. Because that mystery box, you might stick me with. You might give me my
Jack the Ripper shit.
Yeah, they might give you might give me somebody with AIDS. You might give me my 9-year-old child or something like that. I'm gonna go.
Anything coming up out of there, and you gotta do a gun to your head. What's up?
Hey.
So you screwing somebody you beefing with, and a guy you beefing with,
and with the mirror in front. Tell them look in the mirror, look in my eyes, pussy.
Your coworkers gonna have questions. I got questions.
Ain't got nobody. I bet you none of my coworkers got no goddamn questions. Ain't nobody got no goddamn questions. I could risk sticking my dick in a box full of razor blades. So I can go ahead and tell this dude I'm beefing with. Tell the dude I'm beefing with. Hey, look me in my motherfucking eyes. And take your manhood today. Yeah, tell like, hey, you sleep on. Hey, make sure you sleep on your. Hey, make sure you sleep on your back. I'm gonna sleep on it for you, motherfucker.
I can't.
Yeah, what you doing?
Janine said the person she be with.
So it's wild when I do it.
Yes.
It's okay when they do it. They don't like it when I do it. Fuck them.
Yes, I am definitely screwing the person I'm beefing with. The man I'm beefing with.
No.
It said the question was the man you beefing with.
That's me, motherfucker. You just gonna have sex with your husband.
I could beef with other people out there in the world.
No, you can't. Not if you having sex with them.
Oh God. Yeah, so if man or woman, we beefing, we screwing. That's what we doing.
If the mystery box is my other option.
Same sex though. Right, exactly, Janine. Yep. He don't want the mystery box though. That's what he gonna do.
That mystery box crazy.
He gonna be gay for a day.
If you told me my options in the mystery box was like an ugly ass woman and this, that, and the third, then it's like cool.
You don't know what?
But I'm saying like the mystery box pop open and it's my child. Like, well, now I gotta just shoot myself in the fucking face. You know what I mean? It's something like, nah. Establishing dominance. That motherfucker gonna get my name tattooed on the small of his back.
Oh my God. Stop. That's enough. It's damn enough here. All right. Everybody's gonna be questioning me.
It's a fucking hierarchy to this alpha shit. Establish dominance early, gentlemen.
Oh my God. I'm so through with you. Oh my God. Anyway, I can't even
stroke.
I'm done.
You think I'm doing these lat pull downs for fun?
I did that damn.
You think I'm doing these lat pull downs for fun? That deadlift, these hip thrusters?
The tramp stamp.
Tramp stamp. You goddamn right. For Uncle property of Uncle Legend's Corner. What's happening? Welcome to Gun to Your Head time.
Fucking branded.
Establishing dominance.
Cattle and shit.
Mm-hmm. And I don't want it like in ink. I want the big old the brand like. All right, Fox, you gonna take us out, or you just gonna have me keep going about establishing dominance?
Thank you.
Thanks. Peace. Guess we done here.
I
Oh, shit.
cannot with you. Oh my god.
You thought I was gonna pick the mystery box, didn't you?
I thought you was gonna pick the mystery box.
Nope.
Honestly,
Because we just talked about an 8-year-old girl.
a man that you beefing with.
Better screw him than he'll screw me.
Oh, you the one bending
Welcome.
people over.
Oh yeah.
Like Janet Jackson. Oh, so you doing the bend?
Bill to like, oh, you mean a man bending you over? Who said I'm getting bent over? Oh, so you
Oh,
doing
doing the bend?
So you doing the bending? Goddamn right. Yo, just think
Oh,
about
my
those other
Lord.
options, man. That mystery box is crazy, yo. That mystery box is crazy. You could wind up fucking a family member, your child, underage child, like anything, man. An animal. You could be out there trying to fuck a Wolverine. You trying to get some badger box?
It could be anything.
Trying
pop
to
out
get
there.
some
You
honey
gotta
badger
get to
box.
it.
You
You
out
gotta
there and
get
it's
to
a
it.
adult grizzly bear. She over there, rawr. Go on and give her that dick.
The glory holes and shit.
Yeah, you stick a dick in the glory hole and get a
Glory
bit
hole.
off with a bear. Nah, bro.
I want to know who had a bad experience with a glory hole. If
What the fuck do they
hit us up
actually
at
have
Uncle
glory
Legend.
holes?
Huh? At the fairs? Some shit?
What?
I don't know.
You mean motherfucker? When I was walking around my big old turkey leg and shit, looking at the Ferris wheel, some
In the
motherfuckers,
glory hole?
some motherfuckers was getting the sheet sucked up his ass in the bathroom through. That's wild.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know where else.
Yo,
like
you know-
the BDSM
You know what's crazy?
swingers clubs. and
You know
stuff
what's
there?
crazy about a glory hole? The idea
What?
is like, you don't know what's on the other side of that hole.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't even talking about like man and woman or what your sexual preference is. It's like, it could be a motherfucker over there with an extra large cigar cutter, like, like
Yeah.
some hedge clippers. Like,
Yeah.
you don't know what you over there sending you. Man, that is
Rather be on
crazy,
the
trust.
Giving end of the glory hole. Is that right? The giving end instead of the receiving end, because I don't know what I'll be receiving.
You don't know what you're gonna receive anyway. That dick come and look like a nutty buddy. You're gonna be like, I don't know. Nah,
Oh my
that shit gonna
God.
be all right. You better on receiving in that fucking whore. Oh, I'd rather get the random strange dick in my mouth than to stick my clitoris through this little hole. Like, how do women go to a glory hole? Like,
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't been to one.
like you'll be done through your
It's
back out or
interesting, though.
something.
It's interesting.
Like that wood got to
Let
be
me
so
see.
thin unless you got like roast beef curtains. It's like that thing got to be.
Roast beef curtain?
Yeah, that thing got to be so thin. Like, I think for you to push through a hole, like if it's a hole, I could just be
I
like,
don't know. I don't think it's for women though.
I don't think
I
so.
think
either.
women just be the ones bent over or something on the other side.
That's crazy. You just get nutty buddy
Or-
dick.
That's it.
How I go Fox? Yeah, you like an old ass
Old
lady. Old lady, like, hey, little N37. Like, fuck out of here. Nah, that shit is wild. That shit is wild. But no, somebody who went to a glory hole. Yeah, if you ever been to a glory hole, we would like to know about the
I
story.
want to know.
You could hit
Who
inanimate.
that went to a glory hole. I don't think you go to them. I think you're at a place where they are.
I don't
So
know.
you
I
went to a
genuinely don't know the
glory hole.
logistics. I done did a lot of shit in my life, but that's not
Let me know how the glory hole.
Why do they call it the glory hole?
Because you get a glorious experience, I imagine.
It might not be glorious.
And you put it in the hole. I don't know. Maybe
That shit is crazy.
it could be glorious.
That shit's scary. The idea of that is just frightening.
You're on the other side. You don't know what happened. You think you're standing out there.
Hey, I'm talking about, especially if you sit there and you waiting for a while.
Anything could happen to the weenus.
Yeah, you just waiting for a while and shit like that. Like, hey, y'all working over there? What y'all doing? What y'all doing? And you just hear like somebody grab your dick and you just hear like, the movie sound of the blade getting sharpened. Like, shing, shing,
Oh my
shing.
God.
Ah!
I don't think they do that.
I don't know, man. I wouldn't do it. I would not do no glory hole. Like if I did a glory hole, that shit's got to be like us in the bedroom and we put a curtain up with a hole in it and you on the other side and it's like I know exactly
You
what's
already
on.
know what's going
And
on.
I need to know
Make sure
both.
I get the shears.
Yeah, I need to know that both dogs is in the cage too or something like that because you're funny. Coco in there. Nah, I ain't doing that to me.
Your balls caressed by your dog, by your pit bull.
Remember that movie we was watching? Remember that movie we was watching with them crazy ass people, the aliens that was going under the sidewalk and shit like that? Remember that dude was getting his balls licked by a dog, he had peanut butter on it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
That's what it just reminded me
I
of.
forgot the name of the movie. Yeah, they was going in circles trying to get out the neighborhood.
Yeah, and they just stayed in the same neighborhood. And that dude
Yeah.
went under the concrete. That dude was working in a real estate shit,
Yeah,
getting
he
his balls
was.
licked.
It's
Like
disgusting.
that is wild. Like I don't know. What if she's mad at you? I mean, she need this shit just as much as I do.
Right.
Like, if she mad at me, I put it over there. She gonna chop it off, and then it's like, now what we gonna do? We still gonna be together.
I heard it. I don't know. I ain't
We still gonna be together.
I heard it.
We are still gonna be together. Put hot sauce. So come on.
Now you talking, boo. Now you talking.
Okay, but then we could play that same game when I come in there with some hot sauce in my mouth and go eat them. Like, yeah, baby. Yeah.
Won't be doing that.
Texas Pete. Louisiana hot sauce. Texas Pete. And then you over there.
We ain't doing that.
Yeah, nah, it ain't that funny now, huh? It ain't that funny. Yeah, it was a story on Twitter. Funny she mentioned that story on Twitter. And it was like women's worst one night stand stories. This girl, she fucked with this Jamaican dude, and he ate some pepper something.
Oh Lord,
but
Scotch bonnet.
It was like no, so it had Scotch bonnet on it, but it was like
shit.
pepper and something else. And he was just like he was eating out, and she was like, "What the fuck was you eating?" Like, "Oh, it was this and that." And told her, but it was like peppered something with pepper shrimp with with a Scotch bonnet on it.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, "Yeah, I felt like somebody put fresh red peppers in my box." Like,
shit.
It's like that is crazy.
I can't imagine.
Like, how do you not think about like, you know what I mean? Maybe I need to rinse my mouth out after I did this.
He not thinking about it. He's thinking about I ate that meal a while ago. Not thinking about
that
hey,
motherfucker still got a shrimp in between his teeth.
Let me do my thing. No.
That shit gotta feel terrible.
Yeah.
Got to feel terrible. You ever had an experience like that? Somebody ate some shit and it was like, that don't feel good.
No. I haven't had that experience somebody ate. I had an experience with myself though. Yep. I had experience with myself and I guess I didn't wash my hands well.
Oh, I had something like that. It wasn't even sexual.
And it was not great.
No, mine wasn't even sexual.
Great,
I was making jalapeno poppers. Where you you cut the jalapeno in half and then shell out all the seeds and shit in the middle or whatever. And I had to piss like real bad. And I was like, wash my hands. And I went and touched my dick. I'm like, shit, I'm good. This and that. And I went to go piss. And then I was like, all good. Wash my hands again. Go back in there to finish cooking. And then it's just like, you know how that heat start just coming in real subtle, like, and then before you know it,
the sausage was sizzling.
Nah, I'm talking about. I stuck my dick in a cup of milk. That ass. I stuck my dick in a cup of milk.
Oh my God.
It was a rough time. I didn't know what else to do. You know, people say like you eat that hot shit, it's like you need a base to like neutralize it or some shit like that. I'm just sitting there with a cup of milk in my kitchen. My ex-wife coming in, she like, yeah.
Close back the refrigerator. I'm out of
here.
I'm not even gonna ask.
Yo, she came in there. She came in there and got something to, like, she looked and like got something to drink and then closed the kitchen door and looked at me and was like, what? Like, just like, what in the fuck is you doing? Did the milk? I don't know so much. So it took some of the like sensation away, and then also that it was cold milk helped too, because it was like, you know what I mean?
Burning.
Yeah, it felt like it was burning, but that was did it work? Should be like, I just want to know in case I hit somebody with this jalapeno fingers, how I can save them afterwards if they tell me what I want to know.
You about to go eat some fucking spicy patty or something and suck somebody's weenus and burn it off. Don't do that to that man.
You know what a weenus is? This is a weenus.
I know medically what that is, but I like to say weenus. Penis, weenus. That's it.
Yeah, why do you know there's a lot of women
do that to that man.
You know there's a lot of
that is good though, ain't it?
No, you're going to jail. You know it's
no, you won't. You ain't gonna go to jail. You're not gonna go to jail. I promise you ain't gonna go to jail. You're not. You're
gonna get your law advice from Fox. That is not what her fucking degrees are.
I just ate. Like, I wasn't even thinking about it. Taking, okay, thank you. That's what I'm saying. You can do that shit if you need to. Okay. When it get rough, go ahead and do what you gotta do.
I thought so highly of you. Thought so highly of you.
Oh my God. Y'all look. We in overtime. We way past overtime anyway. The podcast has been in
way overtime. All right,
just hanging out with y'all. I love y'all so much, and thank you for sitting with us in Uncle Legend's Corner.
Fox want to hear y'all glory hole stories because
please send them glory hole stories to me, even if you was about to do it, where it was located, how it was done. Did you see something?
Yeah, you can send it from an anonymous email.
Anything.
You send to AskUncleLegend@gmail.com. We still gonna look at it.
Gmail, whatever you want to do. I want to know the stories.
I
Peace, y'all.
personally don't. Oh shit.